Well, how to do? I figured I'd tune in tonight, uh, share some things with you. I did get a little care package in the mail from Carolina-kirk, and I have to say I'm floored. Thank you. I was not expecting your generosity. You had mentioned a few things that you were sending to me, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting everything you sent. Um, I don't know how I can repay you, but it will be fun trying. And have no doubt, I will do my best effort. Out of everything that I got from Walter was some very interesting stuff. The Renner 71, that that's unobtainable. You can't find it. You get lucky, you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. Did send me some Peter Hendricks, a couple of those, and another one that you have a hard time finding. Uh, the one thing that I really liked, I wanted to try, that was the Peter Hendrick, the dark, the strong dark. I wanted to try that, see what that's like, and I do appreciate you sending that to me. He also sent me two blends of his that he made. And believe it or not, I'm more excited about those than the other stuff. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. I like those. I've been wanting to try them and exciting to get them, but whenever I get an opportunity to smoke some of these smaller companies, these smaller people that are making blends, that's where the magic can be, believe it or not. And I did try Carolina Pier-side Burley 3. I opened this up and it's got a lot of ghee in it. And I tend to be on the lesser side of it, but in the nose, it was pretty prevalent. Like you couldn't have mistaken it. It was there. And whenever I smoked it, and I smoked it in an Omega, little Omega pipe, a state pipe. Imagine that. Yep. And and I smoked that, and the lattice is there, but it's not like you think it would be based off of smelling that. You smell it, and it's there, and you think, wow, I'm going to get a good bit of lattice in that, and you really don't, which is all right. There's nothing wrong with that. I prefer it on the lesser side, but in the smoke, that's where the magic was. It was down here instead of where I thought it was going to be, which is fantastic. I enjoyed that. And I'm going to re-smoke that again, but I'm going to put it in a bigger pipe. That's the Omega. It's a system pipe, little P-lip going on. And I do have another estate pipe. This is a Savinelli briar root Capri. Yeah, another estate pipe. Imagine that. That was very inexpensive, 40 bucks. It had a small hairline crack on that stem, but it did go all the way through. It was just a fracture. And for 40 bucks, that makes sense, right? Well, I took a little epoxy and I just put it over the top of that and buffed it down. Let's get on the right side. And you can still see where I did the repair. And it's buffed out, and I'll probably take a few those mesh micro meshes, and I'll smooth that down a little bit more and work it. And if I need to put more epoxy on it, I will. Hey, I paid 40 bucks for a pipe that's not 40 bucks, if you know what I'm saying. But I do want to get to smoking because I don't want to be here all night. Not that I don't mind, but I'm sure you guys will. But we are going to fill up this Capri. Now, if any of y'all have a big pipe, you got to figure out how to pack it. I can't tell you how to do it. Bigger pipes require a different type of pack. It's going to bring in more air. This is a burley blend, so I want that bigger area where that cherry is. I want fire down in there. I don't mind if it gets hot. It's supposed to get hot. It's burley. Burley's supposed to burn. You're not going to hide burley because of heat. Virginia's, you can lose that. You lose it. And I tend to have to, took me a while to figure out how to pack this pipe. A lot of failure. That's what that did. But that's all right. And again, it's the draw that matters. That is way loose. That's almost like there's nothing in there. So I'm going to stick my finger in that a little tighter. It's getting tighter. I'm going to tighten that down. Oh, it's starting to restrict. And I like. That way you're not spending the time relighting it and burning through the tobacco too quick. That can get too much. I'll get my cheap lighter, my baby Bic, if you know what I'm saying. Now that pipe, all that tobacco that I put in there, it filled that dish up pretty good. To be honest, I don't even remember if I showed you how much was in there. But that pipe is only just under half full. That's how big this pipe is. This pipe will hold an enormous amount of tobacco. Certain blends smoke better in this pipe. I just want to see how this one is going to smoke. Not bad. Burley blend. So if you like burley, you like burley. If you don't like burley, well, you might not like that. That's how that works. This Latakia in this pipe, because of the size of it, it's even muted. It's not muted. It's just less of it. You're getting more of the burleys. You're getting a little more air in there. It's it's the difference between taking a cigar that's 60 gauge and 48 gauge. If you think the gauge doesn't matter, you never smoked a cigar because that's a fact. Different gauge, you'll get a different experience out of a cigar. You'll get the same thing out of a pipe. Certain pipes smoke better just because they're smaller and they're getting less heat, more of the tobacco, more of the topping, if there is a topping. And I will say this does have a topping on it. I was even talking to him about it, and I knew something was there, but I didn't know what was there. It was the retro. I get the nuttiness of the burley. That's a given. Latakia was just there a touch. This is even down further, but it's still there. It's not beating you up, in other words. If you're looking for Latakia, this isn't going to be for you. But if you like Latakia but don't want to be rope-a-dope by it, then that's good blend. Easily to smoke this. You could smoke this all day. This was fantastic. But I knew there was something in there, something else. And I didn't know what it was. It's a little bit sweetness on the tongue. And I was thinking it might have been cocoa, is what I was thinking it was. But again, my palate's not that refined. And this is lightly cased with molasses. of all things, which would explain that sweetness. And I don't know why I was thinking cocoa, but I'm trying to define what I am experiencing. So if I define something off, it's going to be off. That's just how it is. I mean, I talked about this that Fireborg and Traer special brown flake. There's red Virginias in that. I didn't get the red Virginias out of that. Some say there's Orientals in there, and I don't know if that's true or not, but that might be where some of that bitterness comes from. My palate's not as refined as others. I'm just as common as everybody else. I'm nothing special. Nothing special. My girlfriend and I went to a bakery. We got what is that? A pumpkin roll, homemade. The name of the business is called Butter and Sugar, right? It's got to be good. We get that home and she eats that, and I look at her and I go, "What do you think about that?" She goes, "Nothing special." I said, "Why don't you just spit on it and hand it back to the cook too?" I said, "Oh my God, you want to hurt somebody's feelings? They cook something for you and you say, ain't nothing special." Lord have mercy. I like that. Honesty. That's how I am. If this wasn't good, I'd tell you. I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know. It just, you know what I would say? I would say it's not for me, because not for me doesn't mean it's not for you. That's how that works." But I do like this. This is it is very smokable. Like, nice smoky blend, as you can see. Need to get a fan in here. Will find me on the floor all puffed up with a pipe in my hand. All the smoke just took me out. I just hope I said something clever on the way out, because that's what's going to happen. I'm going to talk junk all the way out. God forbid. I'm not going to go into the story, but I had a crisis in my life. And the doctor told me what it was, and my response to him was, and I'm not joking, this was life and death kind of thing. And I looked at him and I said, "Do you think that's going to make me any less of a donkey?" And he just kind of stared at me because he didn't know how to take that. And I looked at my brother and said, "Probably not. I'm going to be the same SOB I've always been. My time to go. It's my time to go. I ain't going to pull any punches on the way out. I'll go out the same way I came in, probably talking crap." I'd be like, "Who turned on the lights?" Out I go. Yeah, big shout out to Carolina Kirk for this. This was a nice experience. Nice burley. Very well done. Not that I'm an expert, but I know what I like. I know if I bought some burley off of one of the big guys and I got this, I'd be like, "Okay, I'm happy with that. That's all right." Got some experiment going on with that Sir Walter Riley. I goes to the pipe. First time I've ever goes to the pipe with Sir Walter Riley of all things. I stuffed that full of some burley afterwards. 2 days later, there's that vinegar punching me in the face with it. I'm sitting there going, I got to reset the pipe. And that's what I've been told. I've been told by people, take a little Carter Hall, throw it in there, smoke that. You'll burn that whatever you ghosted it with. It'll be gone. And it works. That actually worked. That vinegar flavor's not gone. I took that tobacco out of the bag, out of the pouch, and I stuck it in a bowl and I spread it around. I'm going to leave it dry out for 2 days. I smoked it this morning after sitting out all night. And the vinegar is less, still there. I don't know if it's as strong as it would sink into the cake or anything, but it was still present, not as strong. Probably, I'll say maybe a third knocked down. It's got about 2/3 left. I'm going to leave it out for a second night. It's not crispy or anything. I want that bone dry. If that vinegar doesn't settle down to at least the 50-yard line, it's going to get some Five Brothers. That Five Brothers superplex that stuff. That stuff will put that in an arm bar, put them in a submission. Five Brothers ain't playing around. It'll give you all the burley and 3 times the nicotine. Take Walter Riley for a ride. See what happens. Not that it's a bad blend. It's just I don't mind the vinegar. I don't want to stink up my pipes with it. That's all. That's for sure. Wasn't expecting that out of a burley blend of all things. English, yep, I get it. Balkan, I get it. Aromatic, I get it. Burley blend, I didn't see that coming. That's a fact. And it's all right. It's all right. Everything's all right. Either way, I have enjoyed this. I have enjoyed Carolina Pier-side Burley 3 is what that is. It's pretty good. It's really not it's amazing what you can do. You just get some good components, get an idea, stick it in a jar. You can press it. You can lightly press it, or you can just leave it sit in the jar and let it do its thing. After a few months, it'll change. It'll do something different. As soon as they put burley on sale, that C&D burley, dark burley, and white burley, they put their bulk blends on sale. And the big boys, I'll probably get a pound of each of those. Those are dirt cheap. And you can do some amazing things with their burleys. Their burleys are good. There's no doubt. No doubt at all. I will say this smokes better in a bigger pipe. I'm getting more of the burley out of that small Omega. Not that the Omega is a bad pipe by any stretch. It's a nice pipe. I guess that's the lesson. Different pipes will give you a different experience. Don't just assume that that's a bad blend because you smoked it in a pipe and you didn't like it. Switch the pipe, switch the day, change your shirt if you want to. Never know. You never know till you know. And then once you know, you know. That's how that works. Either way, I do appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, thank you. And to be honest, I hope you have a good night. And of course, you're smoking your favorite tobacco, or at least good tobacco. And I will catch you guys another time. You take care.